Hello, welcome to the Bridges. I'm Dr. Paul. I am ready to choose where do you want to post this. I know a lot of times when you guys come on with Apple Heart and iTunes and all the podcasts where you can go next, you guys always come on live. This is Mental Health Mondays. So we have some things we're going to talk about, why other things come online. So here's the thing, and I know it's the Monday after election, and I know it's a thing that we are technically going through. And all the things that we go through, will go through, have gone through, and will continue to go through, has a recorded history in our bodies. Our bodies keep a record. And I understand that some of you people who are already on Facebook, some of the people who are already on my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Paul Dyer Grandmaster, you have questions. And the questions are good to ask. And if you have any questions prior to that, you can always email me. Because emailing me is important to get your questions answered. And getting your questions answered is important. Because as we go through this life of ours, we miss out on having questions. And having questions leads us to wonder, and it leads us to wonder. And we should not have to wonder. So on Mental Health Mondays, we get to talk about it. We get to discuss about it. We get to just ask the question, what about me? What about that I'm going through is good for me? Because all that is so important when we are dealing with our mental health. A lot of times, so many things of mental health has more to do with our misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. And a misunderstanding comes from a lot of constrictions, a lot of emotional ideas, a lot of things that we fall short on because we have not resolved or come to a resolute of who we are. So and I like this idea of putting it on the TV screen because we get so used to watching TV. And as we get used to watching TV, we miss out on some of the commercials. And if you look at the brain as an always playing activity, like you are watching on TV, if you look at the brain like it's always playing on TV, then what are your channels and what is your commercials? What are your channels and what are your commercials? Because in your channels and in your commercials, what are you selling yourself? Who is selling to you? Who is offering something that you do not have a clue what it is about? And that's important. Because we sell our things ideas. Coming right from, we have an election, we have different sides, and this made me think of this on Mental Health Mondays, and I know I was going to go we talked about anger last week, and unpack different things. But I think this is important because when we are talking about having a discussion, having a disagreement, coming from a point of view, it drives our emotional levels very up. Sideways, left ways, it does draw them in many, many things. And if you are subjecticating yourself to using bad words, calling someone a name, stupid, whatever you want to call them. But any name outside of love, right? Once you use those words outside of love, and it has nothing to do with what you disagree with. I'm not talking about disagreeing. I'm not talking about always trying to be politically correct. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about compassion. Those things are important. Those things make a difference to what it is I am relaying, not to the other, but to yourself. Does that make sense? Because when you say something, there are mirror cells, and I talked about this in one of my other podcasts, mirror cells. And again, if you have any questions, just please put it in an inbox. You can put it in my YouTube inbox. You can put it in the Facebook inbox. Or you can just email me at Dr. Paul W. Dyer or inbox me however you see me. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. But when you say something, mirror cells has the same vibrational chemical reaction to the internal as you're saying to the external. So you can look at someone and say, man, you are dumb. Your brain chemistry. Remember this, your brain chemistry, because in the brain, we have transmitters and receivers. So your brain chemistry reacts and also dumps chemical within your body to trigger the same negative correlation to you. The same one. If you try to rationalize it and say, well, I'm talking to someone else. I'm talking to another. I am talking to not me. I know it's not me. I am talking on a conscious, subconscious level. I am talking on a brain hemisphere levels. I am talking on a biocellular level. I am talking about single rationalization, not duality. Not duality. Duality means I know what I would like to say, but this is what I'm going to say. You ever hear someone say, I don't mean to say this, but, and then they say something else? Well, that terminology is living in duality. And we often live in duality. Hey, he's my friend, but I think he's an idiot. Or, I love my husband, my spouse. I love whoever my partner is, but they make me sick. That's duality because we're like, but I'm only talking about X, Y, Z. Your body, your mental health is connected to the storage in your body, and it does not differentiate the difference between external and internal. It does not disassociate the two. It does not break up the two. The same chemical that happens if someone called you stupid or a bad name is the same chemical that produces in the body if you call someone a bad name. Now, this is important to understand. And the reason why it's so important to understand, because this is how certain powers that be keeps triggering bad behavior in you. This is why it keeps triggering bad behavior in you. Mirror cells have a function. Mirror cells do the things it needs to do. I think, let's see, what's going on here? My live stopped on Facebook, and I'm trying to figure out why it stopped. But anyway, so if you have any questions, just always contact me or put it in inbox or say something. So that's perfect. But so when we talk about mirror cells, and we're talking about terminology, words used, we're talking about chemical storage in the body. The body will store the information that you will give it. It will store the information that you will give it. If you're going to give it bad information, it does not mean I'm talking about the other. And that's bad information. So, Dr. Paul, how do I go around when I dislike something someone says and I have a response to it. You can have a response to it. You can have a loving, compassionate response to it and still disagree. You can have a loving, compassionate response and still disagree. Because I'm not talking about agreeing and disagreeing. I'm talking about love and compassion. Love and compassion. That changes the formula of what your body is receiving on a chemical level, on a cellular level. Your body will ring different. Your brain will shine different if you speak from a loving, compassionate area in your life. But if you're constantly trying to rationalize your verbiage to get your point across in a very abrupt, strong manner, what do you think you're doing to your body? You're destroying it. That destruction is internal. We can heal. You start spiraling down a rabbit hole in depression. And when you get to depression, how and what do you do, or if you do, to bring yourself out of a spiral decline of depression? Because by the time you recognize it, unless you're around loved ones, they say, you're not doing so well. You don't look so hot. How are you feeling about that? If you don't have loved ones and you bite at them and say, leave me alone, don't talk to me, I know what I'm doing, get away from me. All those things are negative pushaways to yourself. It's a negative pushaway to yourself. So you start to divide what you call your truth self from your soulful self, your spiritual self from your emotional self. So, because we're connected, as above, as below, we are connected in a lot of fabrics of the universe. We're connected. It doesn't matter how you look at it. So, things you say, would like to say, you say it internally first. So, in this time that it just appears that we are divided by so many reasons, whether it be economics, whether it be social status, whether it be whether it be mental health. We have been abusing ourselves, is why we abuse others. And everyone's heard the terminology, hurtful people hurt people. The reason why that is because they really don't know they're hurting themselves. And we will talk about the how on a different show, Mental Health Mondays. But I do want to stress, if you are talking negatively about something, for something, you also are taking that in and storing in your body. So, I'm a sports fan, big sports fan, I'm a Giant fan. So what if I say, we just beat Washington Redskins, what if I say, your sports team is just horrible? Now, in my heart, am I teasing them? And do I know the difference of teasing or jockeying around or joyful jockeying around without malice of intent? Yeah, I can know that. But what if I didn't know that I was intentionally trying to hurt someone's feelings? Subconsciously, I was trying to hurt your feelings, but I didn't know that on a conscious level. How would I know? There's a feeling you get. When things don't have a feeling or a connection, it is malice. When things don't have a feeling or a connection, it's malice intent. Because if it was malice intent, and you did do it in a loving compassion, then I know I wouldn't say something that would hurt you. But what if I want to get my point across? So if someone says, can I tell you the truth? Or I want to loan a friend something, and it's just my favorite sweater. And I say, well, I know you will return it to me, but I just want to say, please bring it back. Well, friend for a long time, at least I called them my friend, and yet I'm going to tell them, please bring it back. What are you saying? Are you saying internally you don't trust them? Well, that's not what I'm saying, but that's what your words just said, that you don't trust them. So saying it is saying you don't trust him. That's what your words say. And if your words do not want to say that, there's something deep down inside you that is triggering, I don't trust it. I don't trust this person with this particular item. Well, it's just a sweater. I trust him with other things. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. And I'm not sure if you're sure. And that's how we become mentally spiraling out of balance. Because we're using words, we're saying words that does not resonate truthfully to your internal. And that is important. That's important to recognize. Because if you're not recognizing it, then it just continues to keep happening, and it happens so often, it happens to you, inside and external. So you start spewing so many things that are negative that you don't even recognize anymore, because it's such a common thing you're doing. And it happens more than you think. It happens more than you think. Oh, they know what I mean. They're my friend. They know I didn't mean to hurt their feelings. They know I love them. They're my, you know what I mean? So when you're saying things, there is a mirror between external and internal. So I guess our pitfalls is that we say it's human nature, and it's not. It's human nurture. Human nurture is different than human nature. Nature has a balance. Nurture is something that you are constructed by the exterior that was put on you. Bigotry, racism is a nurture. It's not a nature. Having ideas comes from nurture, not nature. Having concepts comes from nurture, not nature. Nature, balance, chemically, has a purity of realization with the internal and the external of all things around it. There is no separation. That's nature. We separate ourselves through nurture. We separate ourselves through nurture. We don't separate ourselves through nature. Because nature wants to embrace us all and figure out where it's balanced. That's why we do have effect on climate. We're part of it. We are part of all things. All things are part of us. So when you come to mental health, be careful of the words you're using. Be careful of the things you're saying. Be careful of the things that you have not thought about. Because just because you're not thinking about them on an external basis doesn't mean that you are thinking about them internally, and even internally causes a chemical reaction in the body. Because the body has a memory. Different organs have memories for different things. And your thoughts are stored. And things will kick up, so it triggers the different systems that are in our body. I'm not going to get into the endocrine system, nervous system, So, but it does trigger the systems in your body. And because it triggers it, or creates it, because sympathetic pathways are created by the things you are thinking externally to the internal, It then sends an internal signal, changes the body chemistry to be toxic, right? Healthy, unhealthy. So there's things that are being involved in your life that is causing sickness, that you could be causing sickness. Well, I'm healthy as a horse and nothing bothers me and I'm good. And I don't care how I say the things. I'm not saying you can think what you think. I'm just letting you know your body does react internally. Whether you don't think it's healthy or unhealthy, that's neither here or there. But your body does change chemically with the words you say and speak externally and speak internally. So be careful of the words you use and how you use them. Just because you change what you think the meaning is of a word does not mean it changes the chemical response the word has had or will have. Saying, man, that is bad, thinking it's good, the body, true definition of what it is, of what it has been, will still react to it as a negative response. Love and compassion. Learn to speak through love and compassion to yourself. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. So Mental Health Mondays is to talk over, discuss your mental health. And with listening, hearing, seeing people vilify each other with such nasty comments, it makes me sad. It's very harmful. And it separates us. And I know that separation is going to destroy us. Separation is going to destroy you. Whether it be internal or external. So, take this time, watch your words, watch what you say, and speak through compassion and love. This is Dr. Paul, Mental Health Mondays. I will see you back here next Monday for Mental Health. Please join me this week for Voices to be Heard. It's a call-in talk show to talk about abuse and all the things that are corrupting our family lives, whether it be physical abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, anything that's abuse, someone attacking you, it's an abuse, right? So you can call in, you can share, you can be anonymous if you get some help. Me and Tamara Rudolph, she is the CEO and founder of She's Kept, highlighting abuse and anything that happens in America. So we will talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great Mental Health Monday.